were dead or alive. No one knew what happened to the mainland. Those mainlanders who were stranded were difficult to console. They had lost their homes and their loved ones. The islanders did their best to provide food, shelter, and comfort. The History of Unicorn Island, Part 3. Tension between the unicorns who lived on Unicorn Island and the unicorns who lived in the mainland kingdom continued to increase. Sometimes unicorns who disagreed with one another would even get into fights about their beliefs. The Unicorn Kingdom was not happy and peaceful the way it normally was. Looking back on the history, there was much worry and mighty arguing for now. The History of Unicorn Island, Part 4. In the weeks and months following Wall Day, the unicorns of Unicorn Island tried to do their best to return life to normal. It was no easy task. Because a lot of unicorns had been traveling on Wall Day, some of the mainlanders were now stranded on Unicorn Island. Likewise, some islanders never had the chance to return to their homes before the bridge was split and the mainland vanished. The worst part is that no one knew if those islanders were dead or alive. No one knew what happened to the mainland. Those mainlanders who were stranded were difficult to console. They had lost their homes and their loved ones. The islanders did their best to provide food, shelter, and comfort, but there was little of all three to go around. Foals had lost parents and parents had lost foals. It was the worst disaster in the history of Unicorn Island. It was the type of thing from which the unicorns would never truly heal. McCary was a very young foal on Wall Day. She was also very fortunate because her father had decided not to go to the mainland that day. This was something that her mother always mentioned. When McCary's mother would say, "And aren't you glad that your father didn't go to the mainland on that dreadful day?" McCary knew that it was equal parts gratitude and fear for what might have happened. Everyone had their very own Wall Day story. It was the days and weeks after Wall Day that affected McCary more. Her whole family jumped up to help the islanders and stranded mainlanders as much as they could. There had even been a mainlander living with McCary's family for a few days. His name was Formstall. He cried a lot, and then one day he got so angry that McCary was afraid he was going to hurt her father. Instead, her father simply told Formstall that he had to find a new place to live. McCary watched Formstall walk away from the house. His head drooped lower than any other unicorn that McCary had ever seen. He was broken. McCary knew that everyone was in some way. Several mainlanders stayed on the bridgeside beach. They were sure that any second the Unicorn Kingdom would return. McCary, along with other young islanders, would carry baskets of oatmeal and apples down to the shoreline so that the mainlanders would have something to eat. This lasted for several weeks. McCary noticed that each trip she made, there were fewer and fewer mainlanders looking out towards the nothingness of the sea. Finally, they had all given up hope of a miraculous return of the Unicorn Kingdom. Life on the island had settled into the new normal. Occasionally, while working on her family's land or visiting the new bazaar that had been set up to replace the mainland stores, McCary would hear the name Formstall spoken aloud, but she never saw him wandering around Unicorn Island. She wondered where he was and if he was all right. The Story of Unicorns and Humans, An Abridged History, by Sir Huntington Swivels. I say to you simply that humans exist, or at least existed. Yes, humans are a large part of our cultural art and literature. They factor heavily in our stories, serving the roles of both hero and villain, but it is a common fact that they indeed existed outside of books, plays, and whatnot. Many unicorns have gone their entire lives without ever laying eyes on a human, but many unicorns have also gone their entire lives without ever climbing a mountain or seeing the estranged rabbit. That doesn't make the mountain or the rabbit any less real, so then, neither does it make humans any less real. Outside of literature, we have many historical accounts from Gahan's past about humans traveling to the Unicorn Kingdom and engaging in economics and education. According to legend, some of the farming tools that are still used to this very day have their origin in human culture, not unicorn culture. To suggest that humans do not exist is simply to ignore good, solid, and true archaeology. The real mystery surrounding humans is how did they come to the Unicorn Kingdom? The few records that we have that discuss the travel patterns of humans are ripe with confusion and inconsistency. There is not one historical record that details a specific geographic path that humans used to travel from, well, wherever humans come from, to the Unicorn Kingdom. Instead, phrases like "it just appeared" or Suddenly we were somewhere else, pepper the histories, making it virtually impossible to even construct a theory as to how humans arrived at the Unicorn Kingdom, or how they departed. The most specific account tells of lightning streaking across the sky and purple beams of light appearing. This is most assuredly metaphor created by the historical scribes to explain technology that they did not understand at the time. It is highly unlikely that lightning or purple light played any role in bringing humans and unicorns together. Some historians argue that humans could not be real because of the gap in the historical record of the last contact with humans to today. Indeed, it has been many Gahans since the last human-unicorn encounter was recorded, but this more likely points to humans becoming an extinct species rather than wild theories that they never existed in the first place.
You haven't seen Tillum, have you? Tillum's a who, not a what. He's my best friend. We were playing around these ruins and... that's all. Just playing. Well, it's just that. We were going in and out of these portals. There's a giant maze on the other side. Then the portals stopped working. Maybe. I don't know for sure. Not that we've ever seen. And we've been going in the maze for a long time. No, never. It's really odd. Yeah, I guess it is. It started working again right before you came over to talk. Would you go look for Tillum in the maze? The portals seem to respond to you. Okay, please, hurry. He's been in there a while now.
The History of Unicorn Island, Part 5. Perhaps the universe was being kind to Unicorn Island. Perhaps sometimes when a large enough group of beings truly needs something, it is provided. Or perhaps it was just cosmic luck. Whatever the reason, the year following Wall Day was very quiet. It almost had to be, so that broken hearts could heal, and the islanders could replace all of their necessities that used to come from the Unicorn Kingdom. It took a long time, but finally unicorns were laughing again. As the anniversary of Wall Day approached, some of the unicorns started making plans to hold a memorial for those that had been lost. On the anniversary of Wall Day, Bearshee led the ceremony. It was small, populated with songs and stories. It was an emotional event, but one that continued to help the healing process. As the memorial ended and the unicorns began traveling back home, something streaked across the sky. The unicorn's mane stood on end. The fear had done on Wall Day. Everyone braced themselves for another disaster. What would happen? Would Unicorn Island be split in two? Would it be destroyed? Finally, the purple sky seemed to crack open and return to the normal night sky that everyone on the island knew and loved. Butterflies began appearing across Unicorn Island. They would fly in small groups and would glow with tremendous colors. They were beautiful. Some of the unicorns turned their tears of fear into tears of joy. Surely this was a closure. Whatever energy had caused the mainland to disappear had brought these beautiful butterflies to the island as a sort of apology. Some unicorns immediately doubted the butterflies. Why would they want anything given to them by the purple sky? Macari slowly approached one of the fluttering groups of butterflies. They glowed a bright green. Macari stretched her neck forward, getting her nose as close to the butterflies as she could. The group of butterflies flashed and seemed to turn into stars as they surrounded Macari and disappeared. Everyone around Macari held their breaths to see what would happen. Macari looked around and then started to laugh. "It tickled," she shouted. Tuckus the Meek. If there were...
Hey, you! The one and only! I came into the maze to explore, like we always do, but the portal stopped working. I've been trying to figure out how to get back ever since. I'd about given up, but then you came along. Right before you came in here, the portal started right up. Weird, huh? Well, go on through. I'll be right behind you. I can't wait to tell Billum about the maze. The one and only.
Love to explore the caves, but they're so creepy.
You found me! Oh, thanks. Let's see if you can find me tomorrow night. Good luck!
The History of Unicorn Island, Part 6. There are few statements truer than, "Time heals all wounds." Walday was little more than a reason to put on a carnival once a year. The young foals that now ran through the plains of Unicorn Island knew about Walday only from school or stories from their parents and grandparents. Unicorn Island provided for all the needs of the islanders. Even though there had not been any further catastrophes, strange things continued to happen across Unicorn Island. A few years after the appearance of the butterflies, portals started appearing on Unicorn Island. Occasionally, rock formations would show up in areas that had been barren before. A giant tower sprung from the earth only to have the most beautiful roses grow on the grounds. Visitors sometimes appeared on the island unable or unwilling to explain how they got there. Despite the general strangeness of the event, visitors were the most welcome of all. Hearing any kind of news from the lands not Unicorn Island was welcome. It was through these visitors that the unicorns learned that the Unicorn Kingdom had not been destroyed. It still existed, and the mainlanders wondered if Unicorn Island had been destroyed. Through these visitors, the unicorns also learned about lands more distant than the Unicorn Kingdom with strange inhabitants. These oddities had become part of day-to-day life on Unicorn Island, a beautiful place with strange mysteries to solve.
Oh, hello. What can I do for you today? I did, but that feels like many lifetimes ago. Now you should run along and play, little one. Oh, hello. What can I do for you today?
Now that you have collected all of the books, please deliver a message to Bullround. I want him to build the grandest library anyone has ever seen.
Howdy! Oh, that's some good news. I've been looking for something to build in this empty lot for ages. I'm gonna need your help, though. All right, we'll have a good time putting this library together. I need you to head on over across the 2 bridges to the west. Over there is some ancient building that Tillum and Billum keep going on about. Here, I'll mark it on your map. Anyways, around it is some piles of ornate rocks. Grab 3 piles and bring them back here. Thanks, partner.
You're luck at my obstacle course. Step right up. Why, I keep it in this magic box. It's much easier to take it places that way. All I do is hit this button, and off you go. Hurt? Kid, you're hurting my pride asking that question. What kind of show unicorn would I be if I hurt my customers? Not so fast, not so fast. That'll be 5 butterflies, please. I'll be here if you change your mind.
Hello, little one. What can I do for you? I might indeed, but that's a serious subject for just any unicorn. "20 years? Well, that would mean you were there on Wall Day. Wall Day was the greatest tragedy that has ever fallen on Unicorn Island. It was the day the Great Bridge was broken, and the Unicorn Kingdom disappeared. You're a very lucky unicorn. Some unicorns on the bridge that day were not so lucky. I'm sorry you lost 20 years, but we are working to try and understand what happened. I'm glad you asked. I'm working on some research and could use a little help. Are you up for it? Excellent! I need you. By the way, would you kindly check on Aquila? Hello, little one. What can I do for you? Yes, she is. Here, this is a book I've been holding on to for quite some time. If you read it, you'll understand more about Aquila. Hello, little one. What can I do for you? Excellent. This will help further my research. It seems the walls of the world are growing thin. Tread cautiously, young one. Here, take this as a reward. Make sure to come back later, and I'll show you what I'm doing with the crystals.
Hello there! I'm Hammerian, the blacksmith.
I'm late for a very important... Wait, I'm not late. I can arrive early if I want to. I can arrive last week if I want to. I'm just a rabbit. And who is asking? Just a unicorn by the looks of it. Oh, heard of you I have. We'll talk more later. Yes, later. Or earlier maybe. Sometime, definitely not this time.
Thanks again for getting me out of there. The maze was different this time. I think it has started to change sometimes when you go in there.
Thank you so much! Here's all the butterflies I've saved up as a thank you for saving my friend. I'm just glad Tillum is back. I think we better hang around here for a while. You know, to make sure no one else gets lost in the maze. Tillum thinks the maze has started changing for some reason. It could be dangerous to go in there.
Good job! We'll give the library a special touch with these. Now I need some wood from my work site at the old village. Head on over there and grab me 3 piles of wood. I'll mark my work site on your map.
I used to be a great war.
Hello, Governor.
I saw the estranged rabbit once. I swear I did.
Hey, you want to try a new hair color? I can even change the color of your horn if you want.
I saw the estranged rabbit.
I love reading! You should collect as many books as you can get your hooves on!
Howdy! Nice going! I'll get to work on the main part of the library. But I have a problem. My hammer broke again. Would you go and see if Hammerian can make me a new one? She's the blacksmith unicorn in the castle. Here, I'll mark where she's at on your map.
Hello there! Ha! That silly unicorn needs a new hammer every time he starts a job. I always keep spare hammers around just for Bull Round. Tell him to go easy on this one.
Howdy! Oh, pay no mind to her. She just likes to pull my tail. Thanks for taking care of that for me. I just need help with one more thing. Books! We need lots of books for the library. Aquila wanted to feature the archaeologist's books in the library. He thought it was a great idea, so if you could go grab those books, that would be just dandy. Bring 'em on back when you have 'em. Howdy! No problem, buddy. Come on back once you have everything.
Step right up. Try your luck at my obstacle course. Step right up. Not so fast, not so fast. That'll be 5 butterflies, please. A unicorn's gotta eat. Come on, what do you say, kid? Excellent. Now, step right up and be prepared to be wowed beyond anything that has ever wowed you before.
Howdy! Yeah, those will do nicely. All right, I've got some finishing touches to make to get the library ready to open. Go play for a while I finish up. I'll be heading back to my work site at the old village when I'm done here, so if you don't see me, head on into the library.
Hello, young one. Thanks again for helping build this wonderful library. I see so many unicorns reading books now. You are welcome at any time.
Oh, it's you again. I'm busy watching this bridge and thinking. Come back some other time.
Howdy! I'm still trying to figure out what to do with this old village. Let me know if you have any grand ideas.
I'm late! I'm late for a very important... Wait, I'm not late. I can arrive early if I want to. I can arrive last week if I want to. So sure, are you? I can arrive last week if I want to. I can arrive any day, and week, any month, any year. It's not hard once you know how. The wonderful thing about a void is that it's not nothing. It's everything. It's a blank slate. Where did you hear about that? You did? Well then, my good unicorn, you understand everything that I'm saying. No need to keep on talking. Bye-bye for now.
Hello, little one. What can I do for you? I'm trying to. I believe that the purple crystals you brought me are the building blocks of the portals around the island. If I can build one, I might be able to control them. Sadly, I haven't figured out how to activate this one yet. What did you do? The portal reacted to... you! I was looking for the wrong key this whole time. Your connection to the void is... unique. I can't imagine what this means. And you most certainly must not go through the portal!
I'm glad to see a cool head prevail. I will come up with another way to study this portal, and wherever it leads.
Hey there. See anything you like? Nice to...
Good day, young unicorn. My shop very soon.
I'm so tired. I've been... Please.
You found me! Oh, thanks. Let's see if you can find me tomorrow night. Good luck!
What? Oh, yes. Hello there. What can I do for you? What? My dear unicorn, my expertise is archaeology. Old things. I have no opinion about new phenomena. Oh, you've heard of me. How lovely to meet a fan. What can I do for you? You are standing on what could possibly be the greatest secret on Unicorn Island. In fact, it could be the greatest secret in all of the Unicorn Kingdom. I think I'm on the verge of discovering the greatest discovery of my career. Imagine how famous I'll be. I mean, how much better the world would be if I discovered a doorway back to the Unicorn Kingdom. No one knows that for sure. I believe that Wall Day was nothing more than a dimensional disturbance. Mark my words, the Unicorn Kingdom is still there, which means there must be some way to get back to it. Now, run along. I have work to do.
Howdy! I'm still trying to figure out what to do.
Go away, kid. I don't have a lot of things to be nice about, or a lot of patience. Now scram! Go away, kid. You couldn't imagine, kid. It could be worse. You could have spent those 20 years stuck on this island not knowing the truth of what happened. Don't mention it, kid. I guess we're both in similar circumstances. Go away, kid. Maybe, but I haven't been able to open it yet. It brings me comfort. Sometimes I can hear beautiful music coming from deep within the cave. You found me! Oh, thanks. Let's see if you can find me tomorrow night. Good luck!
I'm late for a very important... Wait, I'm not late. Slow down! Sure, I don't have any particular time to be right now. Everywhere. Nowhere. Indeed. Nowhere. Nowhere. Now, here. Very clever. Gots to go.
A Tale of Unifer. Unifer is a unicorn known far and wide by many names. Unifer the Wise, Unifer the Just, Unifer the Caring, Unifer the Great. All her names come from her universal adoration in the Unicorn Kingdom. To have met Unifer is to love her. One cannot but mention her name that some unicorn will start telling tales of Unifer's kindness. You'll hear tales of Unifer bringing soup to a sick foal, or Unifer helping to plow the fields of an old unicorn farmer. There is nothing that Yennefer wouldn't do to help those in need. This tale of Yennefer is a bit different from all those other tales that are passed around unicorns from the time of their birth. This tale is about one time when Yennefer received help instead of giving it. One afternoon, Yennefer was walking down a well-trodden path, delivering a basket of goodies to her grandparents. The sky suddenly turned very cloudy. The wind started blowing fiercely, and Yennefer knew that if she didn't find shelter soon, she would be drenched, and her basket of goodies would be ruined. Yennefer looked left and looked right. All she saw was a thick wood on either side of the path. "Psst!" came a voice from the forest. Yennefer looked deep into the trees and squinted her eyes. "Who is there?" Yennefer asked. "Down here," came the voice again. Yennefer looked down and saw a small brown rabbit. "Come this way," said the rabbit. "I know a cave not far from here. You can wait out the storm." "Oh, thank you," Yennefer said as she followed the rabbit. The rabbit spoke the truth. The cave was nearby, and Yennefer and the rabbit were safely inside when the rain started to fall. Yennefer stood close enough to the mouth of the cave to watch the rain fall. It was mesmerizing. As any unicorn could tell you, watching the rain fall is a wonderful pastime. After a few minutes, which easily could have been hours, the rabbit said, "Would you like to see what else is in this cave?" Yennefer was shaken out of her trance from watching the rain. "Huh? I'm sorry, what did you say, rabbit?" "The cave. Would you like to see what else it contains?" Yennefer hesitated at first. Not only did she want to watch the rain, but she had a strange feeling about the rabbit. True enough, he had helped her get out of the rain in time, but this invitation to go further in the cave felt odd. Still, it would be rude not to agree with such a helpful rabbit. Yennefer agreed to go further into the cave. "Excellent," said the rabbit. "Follow me." The pair began walking into the cave, but a curious thing happened. The deeper that the rabbit and Yennefer went into the cave, the brighter the cave became. Yennefer was sure that caves should get darker, not brighter, the deeper you went. "Rabbit," Yennefer asked, "where is all this light coming from?" Before the rabbit answered, Yennefer noticed that the rock walls of the cave were giving away to wide open spaces. Where there was once the inside of a cave, there was now a great forest. "What is happening here?" Yennefer demanded. She stopped following the rabbit. "I will not take another step until you explain to me what happened to the cave." The rabbit's ears twitched. "This cave is special, Your Highness. It can take you anywhere and any time." "Why did you call me Your Highness?" Yennefer asked. The rabbit's nose joined his ears in twitching. "Would you follow me a little bit further?" the rabbit asked. "It will be much easier to show you than to tell you. I promise that you will be safe." Yennefer nodded and continued walking. The trees slowly disappeared and became rock walls, but not rock walls like the cave had been. These rock walls had a pattern about them. They had been built. The walls continued forming around Yennefer and became a giant castle, like the ones that kings and queens, princes and princesses lived in. It looked just like the castle Yennefer had imagined when she read fairy tales. "There, you see?" asked the rabbit. Yennefer looked up and saw a great throne room filled with unicorns. At the throne stood Yennefer herself, a little older, but it was her. All the unicorns bowed down to Yennefer and said, "My queen," in unison. Yennefer did not know what to do or what to think. "Why have you shown this to me, rabbit?" Yennefer demanded. "Simply because you needed to see it," the rabbit responded. Immediately the whole scene began to fade away like fog over the ocean. Yennefer found herself standing on the path to her grandparents' house. The rain had stopped, and her basket of goodies was as dry as could be. Tuckus the Meat. Unvelok the Dragon. Many ages ago, before the unicorns, the land was empty. Nothing grew. No mountains broke through the ground. No water cooled the earth. But a great shadow did fly across the barren landscape. Unvelok the Dragon raced through the heavens, wind whipping at his face. With each great flap of his wings he sped on, faster and faster. One day he grew tired of flying, so he looked around for some place to rest. "The ground is just flat," Unvelok explained. "That will not do." Unvelok landed on the flat ground, pulled his great tail up into the air, and brought it down to the earth with a mighty crash. The ground split in two, making a great valley. Better, Unvalak said. Then he raised his great wings and flapped towards the ground. Rocks moved backwards at the great power of Unvalak's wings, and mountains were pushed out of the ground. Unvalak smiled at his work. For weeks and months, Unvalak continued moving the earth this way and that, taking the flat land and making shapes with peaks and valleys. Unvalak broke through the ground until water rushed up, covering part of the flat land. He breathed fire across the land, making the soil rich so that things would grow. Finally, Unvalak laid down, tired from his work, and fell asleep. The land, now brimming and alive, slowly grew on top of Unvalak, turning him into a great mountain range, where he still sleeps to this very day.
Hello, little one. What can I do for you? I do know him. You would be wise to be very cautious when speaking with him. That's not quite it. He's hurting, and that can leave a unicorn open to manipulation. I keep my eye on him. You should too.
Hello there. I am known by many names, but the one that unicorns use is the Strange Rabbit, which seems a little dramatic, don't you think? No need to apologize. Now, I must give you a message. Bersha is a grand unicorn and her intentions are pure, but the void is new to her. It is less new to you. You may not remember, but you spent 20 years in this place, and that has effects on people, and unicorns, and rabbits, and trolls, and dragons, and Yeah. There are too many variables that I have yet to work out to answer that question. What I can tell you is that, mercifully, the universe is by and large a kind place. You were trapped for a reason, and effects you've suffered will also be for a reason. I understand. We are dealing with forces that are difficult to comprehend. Travel carefully through these lands. I'm going to go try and find my third dimension.
The Purple Palace. The Purple Palace is a strange place. The more time I spend here, the more the real world begins to feel farther away, foreign, like I don't belong there anymore. I first visited the Purple Palace decades ago. I stumbled there through a crack in the wall of my parents' house. I must have been 5 or 6. At first it was scary, but I got used to it. It became a place where I would go to be alone or to play. I had to be real careful, though. One time I stayed in the Purple Palace for hours. My mom thought I had run away, and a lot of people were looking for me. Thankfully, they didn't find out about the Purple Palace. In all my time here, I've never seen anybody else. I've heard voices, but that's all. So I decided that I could start decorating the Purple Palace to my own tastes.
Hello, little one. What can I do for you? What did you see? What? Where? The Void is a strange place indeed. Be very careful around that rabbit, little one. He has been the savior of our kind just as often as he has been an ill omen. don't think you can. And perhaps even more frightening, I don't think the estranged rabbit knows either. When you are dealing with things such as fate and destiny, it becomes very difficult to navigate. If you are going back into the portal, please collect and bring back some samples of the rocks and crystals you see there. Also, bring me one small sample of the tree-like growth you described. I'm not sure it's actually a tree, so do be careful.